Showtime. Hey, it's your boy, Big Mike Raider. And we got some things to talk about. Let's talk about these rookies that have stole the show. And let's get this thing started.
This is one of them hits now. Heard back from Earth, we just shot a few of my ships down. It's safe to say I'm totally pissed. Wow, my cloaking device is just malfunction. Guess it's time for a sit down. This is the problem I got with humans, mostly the common man. Constantly fucking with energy they don't understand. Always thinking they got the upper hand. The G-forces from my maneuvers can snap your spine like a rubber band. I shouldn't waste my time, they ain't half as nice. Put a Red Bull in your coffin so your ghost can have wings in the afterlife. Let's rock and roll like a belly dancer's rhinestone. It was my idea to shake the pineal gland like a pine cone. My thoughts create hurricanes, tornadoes, and cyclones. A punch for me is like an avalanche of granite and limestone. You live here, now this is my home. I neuralize both your retinas, you wake up staring at the screen of your iPhone. Confused by the light plus the high tone. And now we connected from the microchip I placed next to your thigh bone. It's hard to understand cause you're mind blown, but I gotta cut communication. Your government just scramble they spy drones.
That voice is speaking Sumerian, the oldest language in human history.
I can't explain it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's your boy, Big Mike Raider. We're here in the building. It's been a while since I've seen you guys on a live. We got 9 in the building. Make sure all 9 of you guys, make sure you guys like the thumb, hit the sub, and share with your folks. Make sure you guys, most importantly, share with your folks. We're trying to make this thing grow, and I want to talk about some stuff, man. And yes, Raider Primos. Before we get this thing started, R.I.P. to Bray Wyatt. All my wrestling fans out there, he just passed away today. Well, the news came out today. I don't know when it happened, but prayers out to Bray Wyatt and his family. Yeah, definitely some tough news. But guys, let's talk about some Raiders ball. We're definitely going to talk about it. We got T Severe in the building. Hey, good to see you. Thanks for the support, man. I haven't seen you in a while, man. Hit me up, bro. Hit me up. The legendary Sean Johnson in the building. Salute, Big Mike. Lots to talk about. Rookies showing up, news, etc. Yeah, it's a lot. First things first, right? Let's talk about a little bit of the news, right? Josh Jacobs. There's been some rumor that the Dolphins are interested in trading for Josh Jacobs. The Raiders are saying no, basically, to that thing. And that is pretty much that, right? So we say, right? And the clock is ticking for Josh Jacobs, guys. I mean, we got about a week until his that deadline. I think it's like the 28th before they decide to make the I think they gave him that deadline of the 28th, and I believe the 29th is the cut day where they reduced from 90 to about 53. So guys, the clock is ticking for Josh Jacobs. So we'll see how that goes. In other news, right? Brandon Parker has been cut. They had like a medical settlement that had to do, I guess they kind of came up with a settlement and gave Brandon Parker his shipping papers. So that's it for Brandon Parker. I wish him the best. Once a Raider, always a Raider. He did some good things for us, some not so great things, but at the end of the day, we're going to honor him and his time with the Raiders, and we wish him a speedy recovery. That's for sure, for sure, for sure. Who else we got in the building? We got Van City Raider. RIP to one of the most creative minds in wrestling business ever seen. One of my favorite memories of WWE history is when Undertaker passed the torch to Bray. Yeah, I remember that. That was not too long ago, man. And definitely, man, there's definitely some tough news. He's my age, too, so it kind of hit home to me as well. So, yeah, prayers out to his family as well, man. Chili Pepper 28, thanks for popping in, man. I think this is the first time I've seen you in here. Hopefully this is not your last time, man. Thank you for your support. I appreciate you, man. Wesley Branch in the building. Yo, what's going on, man? On to Raiders football, indeed. Raiders Primos. Guys, let's talk about a little bit about the Raiders and Rams game. I know that was like ages ago, right? But particularly, let's talk about Aiden O'Connell, one of the guys who have been stealing the show, right? He went 11 for 18, 163 yards, and 2 touchdowns in the second half. I'm looking at PFF. shout out to PFF, and hold on, let me give the credit where credit is due for here. Who did this article? It was under the premium content page. So I got it from PFF, and they're listing the top rookies for each team and their PFF grades. And for us, Aiden O'Connell's right at the top, 80 snaps played, 93.1 PFF grade. He is doing great things. And guys, this is another guy that's going to shock you. McClendon Curtis in 15 snaps, he has a 92.8 PFF grade. And I think that's a big deal because that right guard position isn't set in stone right now, guys. We got Natane Moody, who's fighting for a starting spot. We got Alex Barr going for a starting spot. And McClendon Curtis, he's trying to make his case. And I think for that Cowboys game, that's one of the guys that I'm watching closely, guys. What do you guys think about McClendon Curtis in 15 snaps played? He has a PFF grade of 92.8. I think that's impressive. The crazy thing about the right guard position is that we have guys that can either be a starter or they might either be getting cut. For example, Moody didn't play well against the Rams, and Alex Bars didn't really make a case for himself either. So, of course, we got Greg Van Roten, who's there at that right guard position, who might be holding it down. If I had to pick one, that's who I would pick, is Greg Van Roten to be that starter. But a guy like Moody, who we've been kind of holding himself kind of to a high regard, he didn't necessarily wow us in that preseason game. And if they are looking for a right guard position or even depth piece, it's going to be tough when the final cuts come. I mean, because I think that either Alex Bars or Moody might not be on this team in that final 53 when it's all said and done. And the way McClendon Curtis is playing, it's only 15 snaps. He's making a case for himself to make this 53. What do you guys think about that one? Let me see. Let me acknowledge everybody else as well. Shout out to Daniel Malero. What's going on, man? So you were right about the over on that on the Rams game. I didn't forget. I was definitely wrong. I thought it was going to be a low-scoring game, but the Raiders lit up the scoreboard. So, yeah, you're definitely right about that one. OJ Raider in the building. JJ will play his last season as a Raider 2023. Yeah, likely that's what's going to happen, man. Definitely. So thanks, Raiders Primos, for the confirmation. Tuesday, 4 p.m. Eastern time. I believe teams have to reduce from 90 to 53. JJ better get in the building. You're absolutely right, man. Absolutely right. Okay, so there you go. Shout out to Graf, man. Died from a heart attack. That's rough, man. And once again, prayers to his family, man. And if you guys aren't familiar with Bray Wyatt, all my non-wrestling fans, he did great work in the ring. Promos are great. In ring, his ability was good, and he's just second to none. His gimmick and everything. Lost a legend today. We lost a legend yesterday as well. What's his name? Funk Jr. So yeah, he died at 79. He lived a full life and things like that. And it's just tough, man. It's tough when you lose these wrestling, these guys that we grew up watching, right? And even Bray Wyatt, as an adult, I watched him a lot too. So it's tough to lose guys like that. So yeah, it's tough, man. And he's my age too, like I said. But on the Raiders football, guys, let's talk about some Raiders football. Shadow Fox in the building. Salute, Big Mike. Hope all is well. Yeah, everything is good on this end, man. I hope all is well on your end as well, man. Let's see what else we got. Let me see. Dan Tessier in the building. What's going on? Christopher Munoz in the building. What's the scoop? Hey, we're talking about the rookies who have stole the show so far these first 2 weeks. And then I'm going to do a little bit of a Cowboys preview. I want to talk about a little bit what to expect for the Cowboys game. Some of the rookies we're going to be looking at for the Cowboys. A lot of guys that we covered this offseason are on the Cowboys. Amazi Smith, Isaiah Land from Florida A&M, a bunch of guys that are going to be playing in this game, this last preseason game where these guys are trying to make their last name for themselves, make a last case for themselves to make this squad. We're not going to necessarily, I don't think that we're going to see too many starters in this game. We're going to see guys that are trying to make that last push to make the 53. And we'll talk about it. We'll definitely talk about it. Let's see OJ Raider. This is the first year I've heard people taking preseason stats. Comment y'all practice. We talking about practice. Yeah. Hey, here's the thing, man. The difference between this year and last year is the execution. And this is shout out to my boy Wasted Talent, man. He said it perfectly. Like, this team is definitely kind of performing differently. They're performing the what's on the offense and the defense. Execution wise, it's more crisp this year than it was last year, and that's what I think is the big difference. Wait a second, let me see. Shout out to Fall Q with the $4.99 haymaker. What's going on? What's up, Big Mike? Hey, man, we're talking ball, man. We're talking a little bit of Raiders ball. I came here. I didn't really have too much of a plan, but I do want to acknowledge the rookies that have stole the show so far. And that's pretty much what we're going to talk about. And like I said, we're going to talk a little bit about the Cowboys. But I want to acknowledge everybody first before we get started, man. T. Severe, I think the staff likes GVR. Oh, Greg Van Roten, okay. But the future of the right side of our offensive line looks good with Wagner and Curtis, especially since they have the chemistry off the field. That will translate. Yeah, I think that if one makes the 53, the other one's going to make it as well. I think they're a package deal based on what Josh McDaniels said in his press conference. I think it was earlier this week, where he was saying that McClendon Curtis and Wagner are kind of like this. They're like good buddies, and they train together, they eat together, and things like that. That's important. That's important, and I think that if one makes the squad, the other one's going to make it, and it's going to be important for both of their developments that they kind of stick together. So I do like the idea of both of them making the squad too. If one has to make it, the other one has to make it. Gerardo Escobar in the building. What's going on, man? What's going on? Hey, thanks for the support, man. And we got 43 in the building. Make sure all 43 of you guys like the thumb, hit the sub, and share with your folks. Hey, most importantly, like I said, share with your folks. Share with your folks, man. We about to talk about it. We about to get into it. I want to acknowledge everybody before we get this thing started, before I continue. Let's see. Wasted Talent in the building. My guy, we had a long conversation earlier today, man. Man, those conversations are always gold, man. And I appreciate you as always, man. Let's see. Supreme 11505. Cowboys got that preseason controversy popping. Every year is something going on with the Cowboys. I'm not surprised. That's what we're dealing with the Cowboys. But guys, let's talk about the next guy that's stealing the show. We already talked about Aiden O'Connell, 80 snaps played, 93.1 PFF grade in 2 games so far. McClendon Curtis, 15 snaps played so far. It hasn't really got much burn, but he's made the most of it with a 92.8 PFF grade. Drake Thomas, guys, this is another guy that I think is going to be a key piece to the future of the Raiders at that linebacker position. Is Drake Thomas. He's been playing well. Last game, he had 12 tackles. He showed out when he was on the field. He showed out in special teams. And in 43 snaps played, he had a 74.9 PFF grade overall. Let me pull up. Let me see if PFF has it. I want to pull up Drake Thomas kind of by the numbers, guys. And here's a what's the word for it? Like a disclaimer, right? PFF grades, that's one thing, but you want to look at the full piece of the puzzle. It's an eyeball test, right? You got to also watch the games and kind of get a full understanding of what they bring to the table, how they play the game, and things like that. But one thing that we can look at, and it's a good quantifier of how they played and how well they played, is that PFF grade. I like it. A lot of people don't. But me personally, I'm a numbers guy, and I like to quantify how well somebody's playing based on the numbers and look at the game as well. But for the sake of entertainment and us talking ball, we're going to talk PFF grades right now. So PFF, let's see. We're pulling up the Drake Thomas. I kind of want to talk about overall grade is a 74.9. His run defense grade so far in 2 preseason games is 90.4. Pass rush is a 59.6 and a coverage grade of 53.5, which is pretty much average. I'm okay with that. I can live with that from a linebacker, but his passer rating allowed is 79.2, which is pretty good. I think that Drake Thomas makes this squad, guys. I think that he's going to be that we're going to keep 5 linebackers, and I think that it's going to be tough because Curtis Bolton has also been playing well as well. But I think that Drake Thomas is going to get that nod for the 5th spot. I would love for them to keep 6 if possible, but if they're going to keep a 5th linebacker, then Drake Thomas is going to be on that list. And that's, of course, Divine Diablo, Spillane, Luke Masterson, Amari Burney, and Drake Thomas making the squad. So, or you can argue that Luke Masterson's the outside looking in, but considering that he's been kind of getting first team snaps, he was like first on the field and he's been getting a lot of burn. That tells me that he's good to go for the squad. But guys, what do you guys think? Let me know what you guys think about it, man. And I'm very, very impressed with what I see from Drake Thomas so far. Just the eyeball test and even his PFF scores are saying so, particularly with stopping the run as well. So that's really great. Shout out to Sean Johnson. He says Aiden O'Cannon among 48 quarterbacks with 20-plus preseason dropbacks. No one has thrown it deeper than rookie Aiden O'Connell. 11 air yards per attempt, which is number 1. Still has completed 72% of his 30 attempts for 8.4 yards per attempt out of 48 quarterbacks. See, and that's the thing, man. Those stats are great, right? But the one thing that Aiden O'Connell is bringing to the table is the way he's processing the game. And that's more important to me, is that he's stepping back. He's relaxed in the pocket. He's poised in the pocket. He steps up when he needs to, and he throws a shot. Particularly the one play where Trey Tucker in the fourth quarter, late fourth quarter, he dives out, he sells out and makes a tremendous play and dives and makes that catch. One thing that was kind of forgotten from that play was that the fact that Aiden O'Connell stood tall in that pocket and threw a shot that only his receiver can catch. Sorry. And the if you go back to that play, I suggest you guys go back to that play. The pocket was collapsing on him, and he just stood tall. He didn't get the happy feet. We all know how that goes, right? He didn't get the happy feet. He stood up in the pocket, similar to Tom Brady. I'm not saying he's Tom Brady. Please don't quote me in saying that he's the next Tom Brady, but he stood up like Tom Brady. He stood up in that pocket. He's a statue already, but he threw a shot. He threw a shot to Trey Tucker, and that right there tells me that his processing, his poise is translatable no matter who's on the field. So am I saying he's going to start? No, I would love to see him develop even more. And that's the luxury we have. If we do have something special with Aiden O'Connell, he can sit back for this season and learn the offense even more, get more polished. So when it's time for him to show up in maybe next year or the year after, because we do have Jimmy G for 2 years at least, when it's time for him to show up, he's polished and ready to go. And to me, I think that's just a luxury to have at this point. What do you guys think about that one? What do you guys think? Let me get down to these comments, man. It's definitely I'm getting behind for sure. Let's see what's going on. Raiders Primos, he says Drake Thomas can play the run. How's he in the pass? I wasn't watching him much. My focus was on the D line. Well, according to his PFF scores, his pass his coverage grade is 53.5, which is not so great, but his passer rating allowed is a 79.2, which I can live with a middle linebacker. So I'm okay with it. We definitely, it's hard to find a good coverage linebacker, guys. So I'm gonna live with that. I'm okay with that for sure. Hoping Diablo stays healthy, but most of these starts should try to stay healthy. We got young guys who can take their jobs. Yeah. Diablo is marked in to be a starter. He doesn't have to worry about losing his job, but a guy like Drake Thomas is he seems hungry and he wants to take that spot. So in a couple of years, or if things don't work out with Diablo, we might be looking elsewhere. So Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see. Dan Tessier, so far, great pocket awareness. That's exactly what I was looking at. The stats are great. You know, it's preseason. You can kind of take the stats, you know, with a grain of salt. You're not going to necessarily make a big deal about the stats. At least you shouldn't, right? But it's the things that he's doing while he's in the pocket. He's standing tall, like I said, processing, throwing it to the right guy, not afraid once he throw. Like, I mean, just for example, right? His first throw, where he was off the mark to Trey Tucker. He had Trey Tucker for a 70-yard bomb for a touchdown, right? And some rookies would probably be down on themselves and really be like, dang, you know, I missed out on an opportunity. But what does he do the next play? He throws a 22-yard, I think it was a post right across the middle for a first down. So that just tells me that he's just mentally resilient. He's coming in and, you know, he's not really getting hung up on the previous play, whether it's bad or good. He's taking care of business. And that's exactly what you want from a quarterback. And he's showing me those kind of things. It's the tangibles that really matter to me on the field rather than the stats at this point. Shadow Fox, AO4 seems very intelligent and poised for a rookie. Absolutely. I agree with you, man. I agree 100%. Let's see. Daniel Malero, 8-0 Brady. I love it. I love it. Raiders Primos, AO4 has a great pocket awareness and an arm. He knows when to move and knows who he wants to hit. Man, that goes a long way, right? Let him learn and watch Jimmy G on how he handles starters. It's different when you have 300-plus D-line, second, third stringers compared to superstars. Let Aiden learn. Yeah, let him sit. Let him get comfortable with the offense. Let him sharpen them skills. And then when it's time in a couple years or maybe even next year, showtime at that point. Chili Pepper 28, Sims or Dorsett, and why I'm leaning more towards Dorsett, just because I saw him live in LA and he was zooming. Yeah. So I did talk about that on my with Graph on Coffee and Convo yesterday. We also downloaded on my page where we did our 53, and he has Dorsett as making his 53. I personally have Cam Sims, but I can see either way. Now we did have this discussion, right? You would go with a Cam Sims if you're going for, which is, you know, Josh McDaniels' forte, right? We're going to find a guy that is fulfilling a specific role. And Sims, his specific role with this team as a receiver is that he's the tall receiver who goes up for 50-50 balls and really and is good in the red zone. Now, we saw that with Aiden O'Connell where he threw a 50-50 ball to Sims for a touchdown. So that would be his utility, right? That's kind of his role that we'd be looking for with Sims. Now, if you go with a Dorsett, you're telling teams that, hey, we're gonna outspeed you. You got to deal with Trey Tucker. You got to deal with DeAndre Carter, and you got to deal with Dorsett. Pick your poison. We got the speed. So it depends on what his mindset is. I've seen in previous years where he would go with a fit, right? You fit this, what we're looking for in this certain role. So that's why I thought Sims would be picked over Dorsett, but I could see him going with his own Patriots guy and like, hey, we're rolling with you. You're our number 6 receiver, Dorsett. Welcome to the Raiders. You're going to be here to stay. I can see that. Either one, man, it's going to be a tough day on that day where you have to cut either one of those two. Because I don't think either one of those two are going to be on the practice squad. They're vets that have been around for a while, so I don't see either of those two being on the practice squad at all. So for sure, man. I wish we could keep both. You know, it would be nice to keep 7 receivers, man. I would love for them to keep 7 receivers, but I just don't see that, man. We're stacked. We're stacked at receiver. And if you keep 7 receivers, that's going to kind of compromise who else you keep in other positions too. So, yeah, it's tough. It's tough. It's going to be a tough day that day for sure. Shadow Fox, yes, Sims is a monster. Yeah, that's kind of the 50-50 ball threat that we're kind of missing, right? If you don't count tight ends. Excuse me. If you don't count tight ends, he is that receiver threat that's that goes up for 50-50 balls. So yeah, for sure. He's definitely a monster for sure. Charles Washington in the building. Big Mike, salute. Thanks for popping in. And there's 51 in the building. Make sure you guys like the thumb, hit the sub, and share with your folks, guys. And we're going to get into a little bit more, right? Let's talk about some more guys that have stole the show so far. Let me see. Let me see who else. Let me see who else I got. A whole list for you guys. All right. Another guy we haven't really talked about much, but he deserves his flowers as well. 48 snaps played. He earned a 71.0 PFF grade. Chris Smith II. I think he's been playing well. I got to go do some film work on him. I'm gonna take a look at what exactly he's doing on that when he's out on the field. But a 71 PFF grade and 48 snaps played, I say that's pretty impressive. And that's another guy that we have to keep an eye on. He's going to probably get a lot of snaps against this Cowboys team, who is this Cowboys team from 1 to 53 is the most talented team we've seen so far in these 3 games. I think the Cowboys have a good enough depth that we're going to get a good look from them. Our backups and the guys that are trying to make the squad are going to get a good look from the Cowboys, and it's a true road game. So we're going to see how resilient these youngsters are, even though it's preseason, but it's the same preparation. You're going on the road. There's preparations that you have to do while you're on the road. So let's see if they bring the A game as we've seen the previous 2 games. Let's see if they bring it on the road versus a tough Cowboys team who have talent from 1 to 53. We're not going to see the starters, of course. We're not going to see a Micah Parsons. We're not going to see guys like that, but they still have pretty good talent that can take care of the ball, particularly a Cooper Rush, is the backup quarterback for the Cowboys. So you guys got to remember when Dak Prescott went down, he went 5-0. He went 5-0 with the Cowboys. So this is a guy who is more than capable of picking apart a defense. So we're going to see possibly the biggest test for this young Raiders defense this preseason game. Even those backups playing, we're going to see what kind of scheme, what they're made of, because they're going against a guy who's a true professional for sure. So we definitely going to see something special with that one. Gerardo Escobar, Dorsett is more versatile, can also play special teams. Yes, so that might be the reason why he does make a squad. I mean, you could say that Sims can play special teams as well, but you know what? I want to kind of, and I think maybe that's a misconception, right? I want to put Sims in that in the spot that Mac Hollins was last year, like a tall receiver who can also play special teams, a gunner who can make a difference in special teams. But I don't know if he's that type of guy. I don't know. But Dorsett, yeah, you're absolutely right. He could definitely be a difference maker in special teams for sure. Raiders Primos, I feel like it's been a while since Raider has this type of problem, which is who is going to make the team. Like, we are cutting guys because we have no room, not necessarily because they can't ball. Yeah, this is the first time in a while. And I think they did a great job with bringing in depth this offseason. They're not giving enough credit. Ziegler and the Raiders brass coming in, bringing in good depth from top to bottom. You know, we were really kind of their acquisitions weren't wowing earlier this offseason, and we were kind of feeling a little bit low about it. But the way we see this team kind of coming together and gelling, we see something is special with this team. I'm not going to lie to you. We might see something special. I already read that one. Let's see what else we got. Let's see. Dan Tessier, do we have enough receivers that can tear the lid off with the long ball? I think Sims would be a great red zone option. That's what I'm saying. Like, he's a good red zone option. He's tall. He's strong. He goes up for the 50-50 ball. And that's something that we're missing with the rest of these receivers. We got speedsters. We got yards after the catch type of guys. But besides that, we don't have that 50-50 ball, strong, big receiver that can take care of business in the red zone. So that's the reason why, that's how I justify them keeping a Cam Sims for sure. Let's see. GA Patriot in the building. Thanks for your support, man. Thank you. Thanks for coming in. As always, man, you're always showing love and support, man. Let's see. Big Mike next Tuesday, cut day. Will they cut all 37 at one time, or will it come in waves throughout the day? I think it's going to come in waves. Imagine we get all 37 at once, like a big long list. That'd be crazy. A lot of content coming through if that's the case, right? Carter looks amazing on special teams. Yeah, our special teams, we're going to probably be number one in special teams. I have no doubt about that this year. If that makes a difference. Special teams is a little bit different in this day and age, but hopefully that is a difference maker in this season. We'll see, right? We'll see. Dodgers, everything. Raiders, let's effing go. Yeah, we got Saturday, got another game, our last dress rehearsal before we take on them donkeys in a couple of weeks. We're almost here, guys. We are almost here. I'm excited. Hope you guys are excited as I am, man. Easy Raider. They have to cut down to 53. No more waves. Yeah, it's right off the bat, man. Everybody's getting cut. Everybody's getting cut. Let's see. Raider Nomad in the build. Salute, Big Mike. Salute to the chat. Hey, thanks for coming in. All 57 of you guys that's in the building. Make sure you guys like the thumb, hit the sub, and share with your folks. Junior Flores in the building. South Central in the house. What's up, Big Mike? Hey, thanks for popping in, man. Salute to you from South Central, man. Thank you for coming in. Man. Thank you. Hit Stick Stepper, man. I haven't seen you in a while, man. Big Mike, triple salute. Fam, what's going on, man? Good to see you, man. I haven't seen you in a while, bro. Haven't seen you in a while. Thanks for the support as always, man. David Bigelow, man. I love that name, man. Kuntz, Willis, or Rochelle can't keep all three. I think Kuntz stays, and I think Willis stays. Rochelle, unfortunately, he'll be finding as good as he's been playing. I think he's going to find employment elsewhere. I think that we're going to go with a younger group of D tackles. I think we're going to keep 5 edge rushers: Max Crosby, Chandler Jones, Tyree Wilson, Malcolm Kuntz, and Jordan Willis. And Jordan Willis is kind of like he plays the 5 technique. He can also play the 3 technique in passing situations. So his versatility alone kind of gives him a check mark and kind of gives him that nod to stay on the team. But that's just my opinion. We'll see how it goes, man. It's a lot to talk about. And we will find out very soon. Very, very soon. Let's see. Primos, I still believe the linebacker room is the weakest link to our defense. Not going to lie. You can say that. I think they're going to surprise us, man. I'm going to be honest with you. But I understand where you're coming from. I think our weakest link right now is our defensive tackles. Now, the first team defensive tackles, and even throughout the game, I was very not wowed about their performance. They were getting gashed with the run, the interior run. We got off the field without allowing to score that first team defense, but it was a little bit disappointing to see that backups versus our ones were still kind of matriculating the ball down the field. You would like to see a 3 and out in that type of situation. But I think the D tackles, long story short, I think they're going to be the weakest link. I think we're going to be looking for a supreme D tackle this next coming draft or even through free agency. That's going to complete the puzzle, in my opinion. But we'll see. We got a long season ahead. Let's see. Kuntz reminds me of Arden Key, just hasn't put it all together. And you know what? He didn't really put it all together, but when he was with the Jaguars and 49ers, he played well. So you might be right. He could be that guy that if we let go, he kind of figures it out later on. And I hope that's not the case. I think he's going to stick around for at least one more year. I think T will going to get 12 plus sacks in his rookie year playing with Mad Max. Really that. Whoo! That'll be enough to win him Rookie of the Year, I would think. I like it. I like the bold take, man. I hope you're right. I would love to see Tyree Wilson take care of business. He's still kind of lightly nursing that injury, but he is on the field. So hopefully by week 1, he's full speed ahead and we can see him take care of business and start that defensive Rookie of the Year campaign. I would love to see it, man. Shout out to you, bro. Shout out to you. Shadow Fox, I think the linebacker room will surprise us. At least that's my hope. No, I think so too. It is a hope, but that's our optimism talking. But I think you might be right, man. I think we might have something special for sure, man. I think so. Space Beast in the house. What's good? Biggity Big Mike, good to see you on with graphics. That was a good show. Hey, thanks, man. We do our best, man. It was a good show. I enjoyed it. Coffee and convo is always good to go in and kick it with my guy Graph, man. That was a good time for sure. Thanks for the support, bro. I appreciate it. Raiders Primos, I predict a kickoff and a punt return for touchdowns this season. I hope so, man. We haven't really seen much of that in a while. I can't remember the last time we had a kickoff return for a touchdown. It's been a while, man, for sure. Sean Johnson, I heard wide receiver Jerry Jeudy out for several weeks and Tim Patrick done for the year. And there's a third wide receiver out. Donkeys depleted at wide receiver. Yeah. We're crowding the box against the Broncos. I'll tell you that. And we're going to dare Russell Wilson to throw that ball, whoever he throws it to. Go ahead and try it, man. Go ahead and try it. I like our chances against the Broncos week 1, man, for sure. Anthony Estrada in the building. Yo, what's good? Salute to my guy, Big Mike Raider. Was watching Little League World Series. California moving on again. United States Championship game Saturday. Oh, hey, congrats to those boys, man, to the Little League World Series. I was trying to get my daughter and my son. I took my son to get a haircut, and I was trying to get him into a little bit of the Little League World Series. I'm like, look at the kids are playing ball. He didn't want to hear it, man. But yeah, man, I was watching the international bracket, and those boys from China and Japan and Mexico, man, they tear it up, man. They no hitters, perfect games. It's crazy, man. So yeah, the California team has their work cut for them for sure, man. Let's see what we got here. Let's see. And shout out to Dodgers Everything for the $10 haymaker. Salute Big Mike. Do you think it's good or bad for the Raiders now that the mainstream media is jumping on the bandwagon pressure-wise? Nope. I just I would hope that the Raiders have the same mentality as I do, and I think a lot of us do, right? Keep that same energy when we're winning games and we're shocking teams and we're shocking the media. When you guys told us that we're going to go 3-14 from USA Today and ESPN say we're going 4-13 and all the experts picked us to go last, keep that same energy. I don't want to hear it. And I hope that the guys on the Raiders are thinking the same way. Don't get hype on the media. Don't drink that Kool-Aid. Don't jump on the bandwagon when nobody's on. When everybody's on. Be a part of it when nobody's around, man. And that's to everybody who's waiting to see what happens with the Raiders. Because I know there's a lot of you guys out there that were saying, "Oh, well, we got Jimmy Garoppolo, but he can't really do much without a defense, and we're gonna suck this year, and this and that. Tank for Caleb Williams, tank for Drake May, this and that." I heard it all, right? I've heard it all. Keep that same energy when we come out and start knocking people on their head. I'm just saying, when we knock people on their ass, keep that same energy. That's all I'm saying. And I hope that the team has that same mentality. And I think so. I mean, you see Max Crosby, he's kind of being the table setter with this defense, a guy with attitude. You saw last week at the joint practices, they came out a little bit sluggish. He got into that fight, and then they came out and started whooping ass. So that type of mentality, that type of leadership from Max Crosby goes a long way and is going to be the identity what we see from this team this year, I think. And I think we're going to be pleasantly pleased. We're going to see that old school Raiders grit with a twist, right? Because we can't do the illegal stuff we're doing in the 70s and 80s and things like that. But there's still room in today's game to be hard-nosed and hit people in the mouth. We can still do that. And I think this year we're going to see a lot of that for sure, man. And thank you, Dodgers Everything, for the $10 haymaker. Thanks for your support as always, man. Thank you. Carlos and Fuego, defensive ends. Willis is versatile, but D tackles are struggling. JJ Watch, if not Sincere McCormick. Yeah. So, yeah, the defensive ends are playing well. The D tackles, are definitely struggling. I definitely agree with you. I think Sincere McCormick, regardless if Josh Jacobs shows up, I think he's going to the practice squad. I think if Josh Jacobs doesn't show up, we're going to be keeping Damian Williams. He might be our emergency back. He might get some good reps with Zamir White. But If not, if Josh Jacobs shows up, then Damian Williams will be getting cut, and Sincere McCormick, regardless, is going to be going to the practice squad. That's just my opinion on that one. So let me know what you think about that one, bro. Carlos and Fuego, as always, thank you for your support, bro. I appreciate you, bro. Eric G, hitting you up from Ontario. Thanks for the live and the exceptional content. I'm not good at saying it, bro. I try to avoid saying that, but content. There you go. That's the last time I'm saying it tonight. On Planet Raiders, great articles, bro. Hey, thanks for the support. I appreciate you guys, man. Yeah, and that's the last time you'll hear me saying content like that. David Bigelow, gotta disagree with you, Big Mike. I think our defensive tackle room is young and deep. Plus Jenkins and Nichols, I'm liking what I'm seeing. Yeah, I hope you're right, man. You know, it's just been tough. I didn't like how they came out that first series, the first team. But you're right. We haven't seen too much of Bilal Nichols. We haven't seen Tillery too much. So you might be right. I gotta hold my judgment, but from what I'm seeing so far, this defensive tackle room has been leaving a lot to the imagination and has been lackluster. But I've always kept that same idea, right? What you said, you know, we got two guys, we throw them at you, they go 100%, bust you in the mouth. They go back to the sidelines, get a Gatorade. We throw two more at you, and they're gonna hit you in the mouth just as hard as the previous two. So I'm with you on that one. I hope you're right, man. I'm a big fan of Neil Farrell. I'm a big fan of Byron Young. It's just I need to see more, and I would like to see Nesta J. Silvera make a case for himself against the Cowboys to make this squad and make over John Jenkins, because you know John Jenkins is 30. I think he's like 35 years old. So I want to see Nesta J not be on the practice squad and make this starting squad and give us that confidence that, like, hey, you're welcome to the 53. We trust you so much to make this 53. We gave John Jenkins his walking papers. So that's kind of what I'm hoping for this young defensive tackle room. I'm hope I'm wrong, man. I hope that the defensive tackle room really proves me wrong. But from what I've seen them so far, I haven't been impressed, to be honest with you, man. But we'll see, man. We'll see. Games in a couple of weeks. Raiders Primos punt return. Dwayne Harris 2018 was Jacoby Ford. Our last kickoff return for a touchdown. Ooh. You know what I think, Dwayne Harris? Because no, that was a punt. You know, I can't remember the last time we returned a kickoff, man. It's been a while, man. Shadow Fox, Russ is going to be running for his life the whole game. Absolutely, man. I can't wait. I can't wait, man. I can't wait. Trey Tucker is going to be our speedy deep threat receiver this season, which we didn't have last season. He just needs to get on the jugs machine to work on his hands. Yeah, that. Yeah. Man, you have me, man. That is truth right there, man. That is truth right there. And speaking of Trey Tucker, let's talk about a little bit what we've seen from him, right? In 49 snaps played, he played a good amount against the Rams last game. He could have had a huge game. He dropped one in the end zone. He went 3 for 66. His PFF grade is 56.3, which isn't terrible. But like I said, that's only one side of the story, right? Eyeball test tells me that this guy is going to be a problem in the regular season. I'm excited for him. That's one guy that I'm really excited to see down the line. Man, you guys let me know what your expectations is for Trey Tucker. Do we have the next what's the guy's name? What's the guy's name for the Dolphins? Man, name's slipping my mind right now. Killed us with the Chiefs. The receiver. You know who I'm talking about, speedy receiver. Do we have the next that guy? I can't think of that dude's name right now. Tyreek Hill. Shit. Tyreek Hill. Do we have the next Tyreek Hill? You guys let me know. Ultimately, we need these defensive tackles to take the job from Jenkins. Yeah, that's exactly how I'm thinking about it. Jacoby Ford was the last time he had a kick return for a touchdown against the Chiefs. Man, that's been too long, man. Jacoby Ford is not even playing anymore. You know, we definitely got to get on the board for that one. My guy, AR Afakasi Raider from Australia, my boy, man. Hey, good to see you. Hey, Big Mike, just tapping in real quick before I do a first aid course this morning. Hope all is well, brother. Yeah, everything is good, man. I know you saw the news about Bray Wyatt, man, but we'll definitely talk about that behind the scenes for sure, man. Hey, you have a good, productive day as well over there. David Bigelow, can think of his name, but we got him from the Bears and now is on the Falcons. Cordero Patterson. That's what you're thinking. Yeah. Cordero Patterson, I think he's going to be like their third running back over there too. But he's a little bit long in the tooth. I think he's like 33 years old, something like that. So, yeah, the Falcons, if you want to talk a little bit about NFL, I won't go too deep into the weeds, but the Falcons are going to be no joke, man. They're going to be no joke. That running game is going to be crazy. And they got a tight end who's basically a receiver over there. So, if they can get solid quarterback play there, they're going to be all right. Anthony Estrada. Man, if we don't absolutely pause, destroy them on them Cowgirls this preseason. This preseason was a waste to me. I can't stand the organization and disgusting, delusional fan base. Yeah, I share that same sentiment with you, man. I really don't like the Cowboys, man. I can't stand them. I think it's really more of the fan base that really makes me mad. It's like, dude, you guys haven't done nothing in 25 years, but every game, every weekend, we're seeing you in primetime games like you've done something recently. I'm sick of it, man. I'm so sick of the Cowboys, man. And what I'm not sick of is that $10 haymaker from Raiders. Primos, thanks for the support, bro. I appreciate you, bro. Trey Tucker, going to be that guy that opens up for Tay, Myers, Mayer, etc. Safeties aren't going to let him get over the top, Jimmy G, and this offense is going to eat. I love to hear it, man. I think you're right. GA Patriot. Hey, Mike, what happens to the 1,184 guys getting cut next Tuesday? Do they all have to go through waivers, free agents? What? Whew. That's a lot of guys that have to go through. I think it probably is a waiver process. Some guys are going to be going to the practice squad. Some guys are going to be trying to find other jobs, maybe XFL, maybe USFL, things like that. Some guys are going to land with other teams. It just depends on who they are. But yeah, I think some are going to be free agents. And that's one thing that we want to look at, that scrap heap when it's all said and done, particularly in the linebacker, defensive tackle room. We might find some diamonds in the rough when it's all said and done, when all the cuts are being made, man, for sure. So we'll see. We'll see, man. We'll see. T Severe in the building. If we're extremely lucky, Trey Tucker is Dante Hall. Tyreek Hill is in a different stratosphere as a player. Yeah, you're absolutely right. If we're lucky, Dante Hall. Yeah. You know what? Realistically, you're probably right, man. I'll give you that one for sure, man. For sure. Tucker will still get his 4 touchdowns, 50 plus for Tucker. Okay. All right. That's your expectation. Anthony Estrada, sick of the Cowboys fans. Big Mike, never sick of the money. Yeah, hey, money's money, right? There you go. Let's see, Charles Washington. Pads will be popping on Saturday. Can't wait. So, guys, I already talked a little bit about the rookies who have stole the show, right? Let's talk about let's kind of talk about what to expect with the Cowboys, right? I kind of want to talk about what to expect from the Cowboys. Of course, we're not going to see any starters. This is the last game. The objective of this game is to get in there and get out. Everybody standing upright. Everybody healthy at the end of the day. And at the same time, get those guys that are on the bubble trying to make that squad, get some good looks from them. And guys who are really on the bubble, kind of hanging there like, am I going to make it? Am I not going to make it? Give them guys some good reps. These are the guys that we're going to be looking for. And like I said earlier, these are a lot of the guys. The Cowboys picked up a lot of guys that we covered this offseason rookie-wise, right? Isaiah Land, right? Edge rusher from Florida A&M, HBCU. He's leading the way to the rookies with a 79.3 PFF grade. He's been doing well against the reserves and stuff like that. He's probably going to go to the practice squad. He's more of a developmental project. Deuce Vaughn, that's another guy that we're going to have to watch out for. I think he's going to be a dual threat, and I think he's the running back of the future for the Cowboys. He's really, really small, really fleet-footed, but he's a tough guy to get down. In 38 snaps played, he has a 75.2 PFF grade. Unfortunately, we're not going to see DeMarvion Overshown. He went down with an ACL injury. He's out for the season. He was playing well in 46 snaps played. He had a 74.7 PFF grade. Another guy, I know this is Graph's guy. He was talking about him a lot during the offseason. Is Viliami Fehoko Jr. from San Jose State, the edge rusher. He had a 69.0 PFF grade in 27 snaps played. Another one of the guys that I liked, I actually liked him better than I thought this, not necessarily liked him better, but I thought it was more of a I didn't think that we were going to be able to get a Michael Mayer. So, I was looking at more of the mid-round guys for tight end. Is Luke Schoonmaker from Michigan. I thought that he would be a good fit with us in the mid-rounds at tight end. He has a 68.3 PFF grade and 50 snaps played. These are guys that we're going to be looking for. Guy that we're going to be seeing right off the jump, to me, that's been a little bit disappointing, and this is one of my favorite interior tackles from the jump, is Mozzie Smith. In 65 snaps played, he has a PFF grade of 29.8. Now, 29.8, that's a little bit tough, right? He's been going against tougher competition. He's been going against ones and things like that. But 29.8 is rough to see sometimes, right? And what do you guys think about those rookies? Those are the guys that we're going to be seeing a lot of on Saturday. Keep your eye out on those young rookies because they got a youth movement over there in Dallas as well. So, guys, take a look and keep an eye out for those rookies. And it's going to be interesting to see how we fare against those guys. Let's see. Space Beast with the 199 haymaker. 3 players you got your eye on this game and why. Perfect segue. So I got the right guard position, just the guard position in general that I'm looking at, right? The first guy is Netane Moody. I think that he has to rebound from not so great game he had previous against the Rams. Alex Bars and McClendon Curtis. Those are the 3 guys that I'm going to be watching from the guard position. That's kind of an easy route. I'm going to give you some more players. You only asked for 3, but those are the 3 guys that I'm looking at on the offensive line because those are going to be the guys. I think Greg Van Roten is going to be our starting guard, but we're probably only going to keep 8 offensive linemen, and I think 1 or even 2 of those guys are not going to be on this team. One's going to go to the practice squad. The other one might be getting the shipping papers. So those 3 guys at guard that I'm looking at closely. I'm looking at the whole rotation of the defensive tackle room. I need to see Byron Young. I need to see what he's about. Neil Farrell Jr., he's leaving a lot to the imagination. I need to see a little bit more from him. And I want to see Nesta Jade Silvera. I want to see him. He's kind of on the ball to make the squad. I want to see what he brings to the table. I need to see more of a motor from him. That's the guy I'm looking for on defense. And I want to see if Drake Thomas can kind of sustain what he's been doing in this preseason. I want to see what he can do that, after that 12 tackle performance. I want to see if he can continue doing that. Then we can be like, okay, this guy's consistently putting up solid numbers and he can be a part of the squad. Him versus Curtis Bolton is going to be something to watch as well. So those are my guys that I'm watching closely. Of course, I'm watching Aiden O'Connell light it up. That's who I'm looking forward to. But guys, who do you guys think? Who you guys are going to be watching? Who you guys is kind of like your bubble guys that are like kind of on the cusp of making the squad and not? And who are you guys watching closely for this game on Saturday? Space Beast overdrafted. I wanted him with our second, but now I don't know who you're talking about, bro. Man, I think I missed out on that one. Hey, clarifying that one, man. The chat is rolling, man, for sure. Hey, and all 60 you guys that's in the building, make sure you guys like the thumb, hit the sub, and share with your folks. Those defensive, Michigan D tackles are always hit or miss. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right, man. What about Dalton? Oh, yeah, that's another guy I'm looking forward to, Dalton Wagner. Dalton Wagner played well the first game. He didn't have PFF-wise a great game, but you know what? The eyeball test showed me otherwise. I think that he will make the squad. I think he's going to be the one of the guys that we're going to bring him to the squad. And like I said, if Dalton Wagner is joining the team, then McClendon Curtis should follow him because they're like a 1-2 combination. They're like close friends and things like that. So I would love to see them come up together. But yeah, I love Dalton Wagner. I hope he makes the squad. I have him making the squad. Space Beast, I'm hoping Bars is cut and McClendon and Dalton make the roster. Yeah, me too, man. I don't know enough about Moody. Yeah, he didn't really play well. But yeah, I'm absolutely on board with you. McClendon Curtis and Dalton Wagner. That's who I want to see make the squad, man. I want to see Young play worthy of his draft position. Absolutely. We haven't seen it yet. You're absolutely right, man. Houston from LA, shout out to you. Thanks for popping in, man. Bars is garbage. Man, you know what? I hate to say that because he's in the NFL, man. He can do way better than me, but he hasn't been playing well. That's for sure. I'll give you that. Charles Washington, how much does O'Connell play in this game? I think he plays the first half. Third quarter, we'll see maybe a little bit of I don't really think we will see Hoyer. I don't think we'll see Hoyer. I think we're gonna just try to get out of there in one piece, and I think we might see Garbers for the last half. I don't know, or maybe we'll see O'Connell 3/4, or maybe we'll see Hoyer in that third quarter. And that last quarter, Chase Garbers kind of cleans up at the end, depending on you know what. I would hope that that's the case because I don't want to see anybody get hurt. So, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with that one. Thomas, I want him to make it. Yeah, me too. Edgar Bonilla, what's going on, man? I think this is the first time we had depth on this team. It's been a while. For sure, man. For sure. Oh, Space Beast, you were talking about Mozzie Smith. Okay, yeah. He was definitely overdrafted. He was supposed to be a second round projection, and he got picked up in the first. So yeah, the Cowboys breached big time with him. But I was at a time where the defensive tackles were getting off the board like really early, so it kind of justified and then picking him up like at that point. So, but yeah, I had him a second round, like an early second projection. It seemed like that he would probably land with us, but it didn't turn out that way. He got picked up in the first round. Hit six stepper is I think Meek needs to ball out if he's not if not he's going to get cut for real. That you're absolutely right. Meek needs to show up or else he's going to be getting the shipping papers. I don't even think they're going to waste time with practice squad with him. I think they're going to just cut him if he doesn't show out. But they might have already made that decision, right? Who knows, man? Who knows? Nate Dogg, thanks for the support. What up, Mike? What's the potential of our rush defense being better this season based off the depth you've seen in the preseason? It hasn't been great in a long time. Well, there's only one way to go, and that's up, right? I think they're going to be better. I've been hearing lately top 15 and things like that. I'm gonna stay the course. Top 20 is I'll be happy with that, guys. I'll be happy with a top 20 defense. Top 15 and stopping the run would be great. I'm all right with that. Stopping the run is something that we did a lot at the beginning of the season last year, but on third down, we just can't get off the field. That's what we've been seeing. That's what I've noticed with the Raiders a lot, and on the defense is that they play well the first two downs, and that third down they can't get off the damn field, and that's a backbreaker when it happens over and over and over again. So I'm hoping that we can get off the field on third downs. That's kind of what I'm looking forward to. That third down efficiency. That's what I'm looking for. That's a big stat right there if we can get off the field on third down. Thomas and Bernie, yeah, I would like to see a little bit more from them too. Bernie played well the first game, second game. I wouldn't say he played bad, but he kind of shied up a little bit. So I want to see more from Bernie as well. But he'll make the squad regardless. Drake, Curtis, and Wagner, yeah. Yep, that's those are the three right there that those are on my list too. So Boyd in the house. Defensive tackle Silvera needs to have a big game. Yes, he does, because he is on the bubble. He needs to have a big game and take that spot, man. T. Severe. Love Thomas, but we need size and inside linebacker. Dog fight between him and Bolton, in my opinion. Yeah. We kept 5 for the initial 53 last year, but may keep 6 linebackers instead of the 6 running backs we did last season. 5 linebackers and 5 safeties is likely. Yeah, me and Graf were kind of debating on whether we keep 5 linebackers or 6. I think he decided to go with 6, or ended up changing his mind because he wanted to keep 6 safeties. But Yeah, I can see that. I can see them keeping 6 linebackers, throwing Curtis Bolton in there as well. So we'll see. We'll see, man. It's gonna be interesting on Tuesday for sure. What do they do with Brandon Faison? You know, I haven't heard anything in a while, man, but I have him making the 53. But you know, I did make this argument that he is getting paid a good amount of money. He's the highest paid corner that we have on the squad. He might be making a little bit less than Marcus Peters, but I'm not sure. But he's one of the top paid corners on the squad. And if Jacorian Bennett is the guy that they're making it seem like he's going to be, they can kind of let Faison walk, and you can save like $2-3 million. So I don't know if Faison stays on the team. I haven't heard anything as far as his injury goes, but I think he still makes the squad. I haven't heard anything otherwise, so we'll see, man. It's been a while since I've heard anything about him. Anthony Estrada, I know comments are rolling like Lamborghini Trey Lance freaking sucks. What third year in the league and still fighting for spot, first drive, sack twice. I'm sorry, you can't make this up. Yeah. Yeah. And I think that Trey Lance, and it's not his fault, man. I mean, in college, he didn't get much burn. And he was overdrafted, overhyped, and things like that. People were really big on him because of what he did at North Dakota State. And it just didn't turn out well. I think he'll be a serviceable backup, but he needs a change of scenery for sure. And I see him going to the Packers, man. To be honest with you, I think he's going to end up going to the Packers in a trade. We'll see. I think the 49ers are shopping him right now, but we'll see. I don't think they'll get much from him, so they might let him walk. We'll see, man. But he's getting paid, so that's the problem. Hit six stepper. I want to see Drake Thomas SAV out against the Cowgirls. Yeah, man. Yeah, me too, man. I hate the Cowboys, guys. I hate the Cowboys. Chase Garbage should have stayed cut. Statement of the day, man. I agree with you, man. I agree. Bernard Brooks in the house. Thanks for the support. Great job, Big Mike. Keep it up, man. I'm going to do my best, man. Hey, as long as I got you guys' support, I'm still here, man. I'm here to stay. And all 69 of you in the building, 70 now. Make sure you guys like the thumb, hit the sub, and share with your folks. Let's see. Milka Beezy, I haven't seen you in a while, man. Salute, Big Mike. Hey, good to see you, man. It's been a while since I've seen you around, man. Good to see you in the building, man. Thanks for popping in. Thanks for the support as always. Let's see. Dodgers everything. Hope Chandler Jones will be ready for the start of the season. Yeah, I know. I heard he has like a something going on. So we'll see, man. Hopefully he's ready by week 1. I'm not gonna panic. My panic meter for that one is at a 3 out of 10. But the more reports that come out saying otherwise, the more I'm getting a little bit concerned. So we'll see, man. We got about 3 weeks until the Broncos game. So plenty of time to fix whatever's ailing you and things like that. So we'll see, man. We'll see. Shadow Fox, I think that will change this year, the third down. Yeah, I hope so, man, because you know as well as I do that's been the big problem for us for years. Third down, we can't get off the damn field, and it's been very frustrating for sure. Anthony Estrada, Dodgers everything. I believe Chandler Jones has a bounce-back season. Yeah, man, I hope so, man. I hope so. Man, these comments are flying, man. Thank you guys for the support, man. This was a kind of a on the fly kind of deal. I didn't think I was going to get this many people and supporters coming in. I appreciate each and every one of you guys, man. I'm here for about another 10 minutes. Then I got to take my big ass and get some dinner, man, because, you know, big boys got to eat. But, yeah, all 72 of you guys, man, thank you for your support, man. I was not expecting you guys to come in. I didn't even put anything out earlier or anything like that. You guys came in and want to talk this Raider ball, and I appreciate it. And everybody who supported with a little bit of cash today, man, hey, I really support that, man. I really, really, really appreciate that, man. I definitely don't expect that. It's still crazy to me that I'm monetized at this point, man. And I appreciate you guys. I appreciate each and every one of you guys, man. GA Patriot, I want to see Devontae in the fourth quarter. Show those DBs exactly why they're going to get cut. Yeah, show them what kind of levels we're talking about. Like this is This is practice squad you guys are dealing with. This is Hall of Fame level. I definitely don't want to see Devontae Adams in the fourth quarter, man. I can't agree with you on that one, but it's funny though. Yeah, Devontae Adams goes for 200 yards in the fourth quarter against the Cowboys. That would be crazy, man. That would be crazy. Charles Washington, I love how Bolton is playing, bro. Does look quick and fast. Yeah. He's a dog out there, man. I hope he makes the squad. If they keep 6 linebackers, I mean, I like Thomas too, man. I like these young linebackers for sure. I thought Bolton was out for the season. Is that true? No, that's Butler. That's Darian Butler. He's out for the season. He got injured. He's going to be out for the season. I didn't have him making the squad either way, but yeah, unfortunately for him, he's out for the season. And I wish him a speedy recovery for sure, man. We'll bounce back, and we'll hope to see you next year, man. Jones will be okay. I think if they were we're doing the right thing with injuries this year. Yeah, I think so too. And they keep these things under wraps. This whole regime, they're really tight-lipped with a bunch of stuff that's going on that in the building and stuff like that, which I'm all right with. I'm okay with it. I'm used to it at this point. David Bigelow, third down defense and red zone offense both need major improvement if we're going to make any type of playoff run. Those are the 2 major things that need to change, man. Red zone offense and third down defense. And if I have to name a third one, it's turnover differential. We got to make a difference with, I think we do one half pretty well with keeping the ball close to us and not giving up the ball on offense. But defensively, we need strip sacks, we need interceptions, we need fumble recoveries. We need to make that field shorter for this offense, this efficient offense. So when they go in the red zone, they take care of business and score 7 instead of 3. For sure. Those are the 3 that make them. That's a big difference maker for me. Hit stick stepper. I want to see Michael Mayer ball on Sunday against the Cowgirls for really that. Yeah, I want to see him score a touchdown for sure. I want to see a Aiden O'Connell to Michael Mayer touchdown, man. That's what I want to see. And I believe the game is on Saturday. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but the game is on Saturday, I think. Nate Dogg, breakout player on defense this year, from player to up-and-coming star. Thank you, bro. So first off, thank you for your support, Nate Dogg. I think a breakout player, if you're going from up and coming to star, I think that Divine Diablo has a good chance of being that kind of guy that really makes a big difference this year, makes that leap from being kind of a middle of the road or even on the bottom half of linebackers to being I wouldn't say necessarily a household name, but one of those kind of under the radar stars that will come, that will shock you this year, get over 100 tackles, a couple interceptions and things like that. I'm hoping to see something like that. And then Nate Hobbs, he's playing for a contract. He's getting paid $900,000 this year. And he's looking for a big payday if he has a big season this year. So those are the 2 guys that I would like to see kind of have that breakout season, Nate Hobbs and Divine Diablo. And of course, Max Crosby making his campaign for Defensive Player of the Year. That's those are my 3 that I'm expecting heavy, big things for him this year. So those are my 3 on that one. Let's see. Charles Washington. Just imagine if we gave up 3 first-round picks for him. The media would be killing us all day, every day. Yeah. I don't want to give up 3 first-round picks for anybody these days, to be honest with you, man. For anybody. I mean anybody. So unless you're talking about like a Patrick Mahomes, but that's not necessary. Anthony Estrada, honestly, with you, I dislike the Cowboys more than a team in the AFC West. I agree, man. It's like Cowboys, and then it's like the Chargers, and then it's the Chiefs, and then the Broncos. I really don't like the Chargers either, man. I don't like their fans. I don't like all 12 of their fans that they have, and with the Chargers, man, they make me sick because they just love talking. They love seeing the Raiders fail. But that's like their Super Bowl when they beat the Raiders. Like, yeah, we beat the Raiders, yeah, and then you never hear the end of it. Yeah, Chargers fans can, trash. Shadow Fox. Oh, that's addressed to somebody else. Let's see. Our panic is off the charts already for Jacobs. Yeah, Yeah, I'm panicking. I'll give it an 8 out of 10 for number 8 for sure, man. I'm really panicking that we need to get him in the building. Shout out to Raider Jeff in the building. I see that they released Brandon Parker. Yeah, got released. They had like a medical settlement deal because, of course, he's injured, but they let him go. They let him go. And I wish him the best, speedy recovery. Hope that when he gets over his injury, that he comes out and finds another place to play some ball. And if not, we wish him the best. And once a Raider, always a Raider. We'll always remember Brandon Parker. But yeah, he has been released. He has been released. Joe Capital Ramos. I really don't understand the media heads talking about teams like the Broncos have a better chance of making the playoffs than the Raiders. I'll never understand that. I'll never understand. I don't know what they're seeing. Maybe because of Sean Payton, and they're like, well, it can't possibly be that Russell Wilson is going to have 2 bad seasons in a row. There's no way he's washed up, right? We will find out. We will find out. They will find out the hard way. I think that Russell Wilson is a shell of himself, and I think that offensive line is overrated. They're gonna struggle like they did last year, and they have no wide receivers right now that are healthy. So, yeah, I don't know what they're talking about with the Broncos. They just need to stop with all that. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. GA Patriot, just for you, man. Raiders. Yeah, it's about that time of year, man. Let's go. Let's go. Nate Dogg. Oh, okay, let me. I'm clicking on everybody, man. Shadow Fox, you're doing a great job. We'll be here to support you, man. I appreciate you, man. But you know what, guys? I think I'm going to have to call it a night. Guys, thank you guys for the support as always, man. I appreciate you guys coming in and talking some Raiders ball with me. This is absolutely everything that I wanted to do. Just talk Raiders ball with my guys and all 68 of you guys in the building listening in. I appreciate you. People who are listening up in the cloud, not in the chat and things like that. Come in the chat, say your words every once in a while. I appreciate it, man. But those who are always around, like the Shadow Fox, Anthony Estrada, David Bigelow, T. Severe, GA Patriot, man, if I missed out on anybody else, man, who else is always around? Let me scroll up. Charles Washington's always in the building. Carlos and Fuego, man, all you guys, Nate Dogg, man, all you guys, Dodgers, everything. Man, everybody who's always around, and the ones who just popped up I haven't seen in a while, like Hit Stick. Who else, man? Who else haven't seen in a while? Milka Beezy, those kind of guys, man. I appreciate each and every one of you guys for coming in, man. And guys, yeah, Dan Tessier, you're right. Big Mike's stomach is growling. It's time to eat. You got to feed the big man. It's time to go, man. But guys, with that one, you guys have a good night, and we'll talk about this thing on Saturday. You guys be safe. Have a productive Friday. You guys have a good night. Peace.
This is one of them hits now. Heard back from Earth, we just shot a few of my shits down. It's safe to say I'm totally pissed. Wow, my cloaking device is just malfunction. Guess it's time for a sit down. This is the problem I got with humans, mostly the common man. Constantly fucking with energy they don't understand. Always thinking they got the upper hand. The G-forces from my maneuvers can snap your spine like a rubber band. I shouldn't waste my time, they ain't half as nice. Put a Red Bull in your coffin so your ghost can have wings in the afterlife. Let's rock and roll like a belly dancer's rhinestone. It was my idea to shake the pineal gland like a pine cone. My thoughts create hurricanes, tornadoes, and cyclones. A punch for me is like an avalanche of granite and limestone. You live here, now this is my home. I neuralize both your retinas, you wake up staring at the screen of your iPhone. Confused by the light plus the high tone. And now we connected from the microchip I placed next to your thigh bone. It's hard to understand cause you're mind blown, but I gotta cut communication. Your government just scrambled they spy drones.